Hi everyone, it's Evangeline here at eTrailer, and today we are looking at our Hollywood Racks Destination 4-bike platform rack here on our 2021 Kia Telluride. Now the Hollywood Racks Destination is one of my favorite racks in how it is affordable, but also gives you the option to carry around 4 bikes, which is honestly a lot in the bike rack world. We'll take a look at the way this fits here with our bikes. So this is secured by 1, 2, 3 points. So the 2 points are the wheel straps on each side, and the third point is our frame mount here in the middle. Now that frame mount is actually kind of interesting in how it has a 360 degree of rotation. So depending on your frame, you can go up, you can go down, you can go side to side, and you can even go around. And that's great because then if you have bikes with frames of different shapes and sizes, it will work with those. So when you want to take your bike off, you start first at the wheel strap. So press the lever and pull that strap up and out. And I like how you can rotate the strap so that's not in the way when you take your bike off. So one strap, and then here's our second strap. Let's put that to the side. Then you go over here. This is where it kind of gets a little tricky because you have to figure out a way to support your bike while you take that frame mount out. So press that strap or press that lever and pull out that strap, and then find a good spot to grab your bike so that you can lift it over that mast. And then you're ready to go on a bike ride. And with that bike out of the way, we get to take a closer look here at our Cradles. So here at eTrailer, because of the way it's designed, we've actually called these Cradles the wings of the Hollywood Racks Destination Bike Rack. That's because of the way they're designed to accommodate different wheelbases. You just need to secure them over here at the front by this wheel strap that also has this rubber cushion. So you're gonna have to move that around just so that it's right on top of the wheel. It will help protect it from extra scuffs and scratches as you travel around, but it will also give it a little extra traction as you ratchet down that strap to secure it. You also have this right over here, which is our front wheel cradle. So this comes over here, and it also has a strap. There you go. Now, first, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some measurements. Because this is the Hollywood Racks Destination Bike Rack, it's gonna be a little bit longer than your average bike rack. So measuring from our bumper to the end of the bike rack, right where those reflectors are, it sits at 39¼ inches. That's actually pretty good for a 4-bike bike rack. I've seen longer bike racks, and you're just gonna have to remember that because it is shorter, it is a bit more compact, and it's gonna be harder to reach around to grab those bikes, but that's still a measurement to keep in mind when you're backing into your garage or trying to park into a tight spot. Over here, we're gonna measure for ground clearance. So we do have those wings. So the first ground clearance measurement is at the middle. So from underneath the bike rack to the ground, it's 22 inches. From underneath the wings to the ground, it's 18 inches. And right where that shank is to the ground, it's 11½ inches. So notice how it has a shank rise where your bikes are actually sitting higher up above the hitch. And that's great because that ground clearance is important when you're going up a steep incline like a driveway or a hill. As your front goes up, your back goes down, and you're gonna want your bike sitting a little bit higher up. Notice how with the bike on, you can't open your hatch. This does not tilt away, which is one of the premium features, which kind of is you would find in the more expensive bike racks. But there is a solution. You can lower this mast. To do so, you go over here to this knob, and you're gonna have to loosen that knob first, and then you'll loosen that knob in order to remove this anchor or this stand holding our mast up. So put that to the side, tighten that knob back down, and then you're gonna bring this mast down. Now you do have different options depending on how it fits, what I actually like to do is just use the wheel strap in order to secure our mast down. That's the thing with the Hollywood Rack's destination bike rack. It's versatile, which also means you have to figure out the best way it can serve your specific needs. So with that mast down, you can see how we have access to our hatch. We can open our door, get into our trunk, grab our bikes, our bike bags, our helmets, our water, but you do have to take your bikes off. All right, let's take a look at another of its features, which is that it can fold up. To do so, you have to remove this clip and then rotate this bolt, which acts as its pin. And then just rotate that all the way and just leave that hanging. Good thing it has a string, that way you don't lose your bolt. So with that release, you then push up and fold up the bike rack. There you go. And then put that pin back into place and tighten it down until it's secure. And then you're going to use the clip you just took out. Once it's fully secure, you're going to clip it so it's kind of locked. So you can see how that's a big difference compared to with it folded down. Let's take some measurements. Measuring from our rear bumper to the middle of our bike rack, it sits at 9 inches. Then to the end of the bike rack, we have a length added of about 13 inches. Now for closest point, it's going to be from the bumper to the mast, and you have a clearance of 5 inches. Big difference compared to when it was folded down. You definitely want it in this position when you're maybe not planning on taking your bikes out, but you're also not planning on taking your bike rack off. This is a nice portable position for driving around town. Now, as for how it works with our vehicle here, you can see how our rear window is completely open and visible. Our tail lights are mainly visible, especially if you're looking from it straight from the back. One thing we do have covered though is our license plate as well as a rear backup camera. Now the Telluride has that 360 view for your backup camera, so it's not as big of a deal, but you do have that license plate covered, which is just going to be natural for any 4-bike rack. If you are very concerned about that, maybe you might want to consider the Kuat Transfer 4-bike, which has the goalpost design, which has that open and visible. All right, let's talk about how this fits into our hitch. So this has a 2-inch solid shank, and it fits into our 2-inch hitch receiver. It has an anti-rattle bolt and a lock. So if you can, please try to pick up the lock and cable set for the Hollywood Rack's destination bike rack, because then you get to lock up both your bikes and your bike rack with a single key. Now this anti-rattle bolt comes with a tool to tie or lock it down, but I highly recommend picking up our 3/4 socket, which makes it so much easier, because once you have that tightened down, as I shake our bike, I'm mainly shaking our vehicle at this point, showing that that connection is secure and it takes out any extra rattle or extra sway, making for a smoother ride for your bikes overall. All right, so my final thoughts about this bike rack is I really like how it gives me the option to carry around 4 bikes, and I don't have to get a hanging style rack. I can still get a platform rack at a reasonable price and still carry around multiple bikes. I also like how this is still kind of open. My taillights are visible. My window is visible. Now I can't tilt this away if I want to access my hatch, but that's just something you're going to have to think about in relation or in exchange for carrying around 4 bikes. So that was a look at the Hollywood Rack's Destination 4-bike rack here on our 2021 Kia Telluride.
Now we're going to go ahead and take it on our test course. First we'll start with the Slaloms. This is going to show the side-to-side action. It's kind of going to mimic the movements that you'll see whenever you're driving down the road normally. Now we'll have the alternating speed bumps. This is going to be more so like the uneven roads and some of that uneven terrain you might be traveling on, and see how it holds up.